A beautiful good day and a warm welcome to another new video. Today we're dealing with this VW Passat where we've measured the oil pressure and there is none, and we want to find out the cause, or I'm going to take off the oil pan and see if we can spot anything there. A known issue is that the typical hex socket in these balance shafts breaks or gets damaged, whatever. What engine is this VW Passat? Model year 2006, 140 horsepower, 103 kilowatts, 2-liter diesel engine, unit injector. In this video, we're going to remove the oil pan and check if we can identify any visible damage or issues there, or figure out why the engine has no oil pressure. Well, I'd say dot. Let's lift it up and get started. Here we go. Let's start by catching the old oil first, I'd say. I'd really like to take a closer look at that, actually. Alright then, I'd say let's go ahead and dismantle this here. And take a look inside. Oil level sensor. Use a 10mm socket and systematically loosen each component one after another, step by step. Here they are four, quite concealed and tucked away discreetly. With a 5mm Allen key. So these two screws could have really been positioned differently somehow. With a 16mm socket, take off these 3 screws here. With a 30 Torx bit. Carefully remove the single screw here for the boost pressure hose. We have here, so this is where the balance shafts are positioned. Here we can observe the screen and it looks to be in a clean state. Yes, the crankshaft drives this gear, which in turn rotates that one. Then the balance shafts are powered, and inside here is a hex key that drives the operation of the oil pump. This here is the oil pump. So I've got the cotter pin, there's a tiny cotter pin in there, which I've already taken out so that we can pull out this hexagon. Then I'm now taking a small screw, screwing it in there. Sometimes the part is really so tightly stuck. Yes, we got it off. So, and through this hexagon, yes, there we see it already. Take a look at this period. How damaged it already is, see? It's completely round. Through the balance shaft located here, it drives this Allen key and the hexagon, which in turn powers the oil pump. If I now handle this one here, I won't push it all the way in just yet. I hope this is visible, period. Yes, I'm standing in full shade. If I don't push it all the way, turn here. Bam, you see? I can't see what's happening back there, whether we've got the game, but I'll keep working through it step by step. But I think we can basically attempt the following now. Replace this hexagon and check to see if the oil pump is actually being driven, essentially. I'll show you now what the part looks like intact. This here is the cotter pin. Really small. How do I do it? I take 2 small drills here. 2 small drills. Wait. Just put it on. Snap. Take 2 small drills. Place them on and squeeze with needle nose pliers. So click. Hold it steady here. Then it comes right off. Now, moving on to the Allen key. This is the one I have, and I've just ordered 2 new ones from VW. They are available in 2 different lengths. centimeter and probably 40 centimeter. 50, right? Yeah. That's just 78. 78. Why there are two, I honestly don't know. I'm hoping you can simply push it further in and it will still function properly for the time being, at least for now. Right now, my priority is to get it running so I can check for any other existing damages. For instance, maybe the turbo's completely gone or it won't even work at all anymore. So, and here we naturally see the difference. It's completely round here, and from here it was driven, and here you can see the oil pump is also driven along with it. Yeah, this design really isn't the best. I'll give it a shot and see if it's even possible to fit it in there properly. And if not, we'll force it in, let it run, because I'd have to order the balance shafts anyway. And then there will be a balance shaft replacement video. The problem is, we have nothing left to remove here. Just with magnets, I think. We can get the whole thing out. Exactly. Yes, let's give it a try. I'll attempt to insert the longer one first. And now we'll see how much play we have there. And it's minimal. We're just in the compensation shaft, and we're lucky. We're truly lucky. It's honestly just barely minimal. That means putting in the right length. So the splint is back in. It's sometimes a disaster without special tools. Give it a full turn, make sure it's sitting properly and securely. Yes, it's sitting clean and tight, okay? That's all fitting perfectly now. Then I'll clean it up now. Actually, Dot. Yes, we'll clean it thoroughly and put it on properly right away. It should definitely have oil pressure, and honestly, we've got absolutely nothing left down here anymore. Because either we're dealing with complete engine failure, or we still need to replace the turbo.
We've got no reason to remain down here unless the oil pump has also failed. But I truly don't believe that's the case at all.
No way, the balancer shaft fits perfectly. No reason to stay down here any longer. I'll clean it all up, we'll fit the oil pan properly. Yep. Sealant supplied now. It's crucial not to tighten the screws, just set them loosely in place. We'll tighten the screws first so that the oil pan fits snugly against it, and then we'll go ahead and firmly attach the oil pan in place. You're welcome. Alright then, let's go ahead and pour the oil in. Fits. Yeah, folks, it's absolutely packed in here. I even took some time to have a bit of fun checking out the holy tree to see if the turbo has any play, opened up the air hose, closed it back down, and sure enough, the turbo's got play. And I think he's going to have oil pressure now. And I think the turbo is already on its way out because the play is really extreme. And now I've also disconnected the boost hose down here. That means if we start it now and it pushes oil out here, that means the turbo is spitting oil, really spitting oil like crazy. And that's why I disconnected it down here so it doesn't blast that into the engine, but instead shoots it out here. And you can see that the blade has already been affected, and now we'll just wait and see what's going to happen next. I want to take a look at this together with you. What's happening here? Yeah, well, I think we'll have to replace the turbo anyway. Or I also want to check and see if it's possibly leaking oil from the feed side there. That's why we'll let it run for a while and observe it closely to see what happens. If it spits oil, that's good. It means it's got oil pressure. But it's bad news if it's leaking oil from a single-use turbo. No oil should leak, of course. The hose hangs here, the boost hose. That's how it looks. So I'd say, let's take a look at the oil pressure now. And then this video is pretty much finished and concluded. Well, folks, that's how it looks with the VW Passat and the oil pressure. Now we have oil pressure, dot. Arbon, the turbo, now we're dealing with all these subsequent damages, so to speak. What exactly happened with the car, we don't know. And yeah, dot. Now you can write down in the comments what should be done. Replace the turbo and hope everything is fine again, or go straight for an engine swap. What you can try now is to take a look at the camshaft. But I think it makes sense, possibly, because even if you were to swap the engine afterward, you could still use the turbo from that. Install the turbo here, try out what will work, and check if everything is running smoothly again. If nothing is good, then swap in a different engine. And bring the new turbo along with it. You typically purchase a new engine without any accessories. That's why it's important to write down your thoughts and ideas. In any case, we've now figured out the reason why it's missing an oil block. The balance shaft had a bit of play, so everything's perfectly fine as it is. There are also kits available, an upgrade that allows you to replace these balance shafts. But that's an extremely labor-intensive process because you have to remove that specific gear we saw from the crankshaft. Flex it, press it, however, pull it off, and then it gets replaced by a gear, and the chain by a tensioner, and so on. Very, very complicated. We ordered the set, ordered it ourselves because I intended to do this here. Because I wanted to see how much play there is, and then we wanted to consider whether to replace these balance shafts or upgrade them with more advanced components. The problem is that the upgrade firstly didn't include the tool to pull the part off, and secondly, a lot of components need to be removed there. That means the timing belt, its cover, and I had imagined it would be a much simpler task. Unfortunately, it's not as straightforward as that. Feel free to drop your thoughts or opinions about the engine in the comments below. Keep going, replace the turbo, or swap in a different engine altogether, and the turbo needs to be replaced either way. Yeah, that's how it looks. The aftermath is always crap, depending on what exactly went wrong with it overall. If you turn it off right away, you can still save this here. But if it's been driven back and forth, as you saw in the video, I did record it, the shaft is already bent, no question. And as you could see, it's pushing the exhaust gases out on the intake side, and it's not even being driven anymore. It could be that on the other side the turbine wheel might already be completely off, just lying inside. Because the shaft isn't even being driven anymore. Normally that thing spins really fast. Yes, I really hope you enjoyed the video, found it entertaining, helpful, and maybe even picked up some tips. And all the important info is down below in the video description, as well as the purchase links for the two. Hex key pins. One is extra long, which is pretty good for checking the play at the back. Balance shaft. So I'd say if you liked the video, drop a thumbs up. You can subscribe for free, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now, everyone.